is House Talk. My name is Zet, and I'm going to bring my good friend Mike Benton, aka The Dome, who is traveling. So thanks for being patient with us. But we are going to be here every week. So we're committed to showing up and answering any questions you guys have out there, and just having a conversation around all things real estate and all things house. So Mike, how you doing?
And it's actually epic because from Sales Mastery, which is one of the largest in the country, with my good friend Todd. We're going to have on here in a couple of weeks. So, look forward to answering some of the questions we got this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we did get a couple questions in. We're going to keep it pretty brief today because obviously my man Mike is traveling. He's jet setting the world, making some awesome connections out there with some of the movers and shakers in the world, and going to get him on here on the show. So that's really exciting. So we just wanted to real quick touch on some of the questions that we got in. And also, Mike, are you able to, real quick, the audio isn't perfect. You're at an airport, I think. So, but if you're able to give us just a real brief insight into any of the news that's going on recently today with inflation and that sort of thing.
Sure, man, absolutely. Yeah, it's timely. I mean, yeah, I came in, which for those of you that don't know, it's a measure of consumer price spending. Unfortunately, it was up, which aggressive here over the next month to 2 months. Basis points move, 5, and then we'll see how that. In my opinion, before we came on, is that lagging in? But the bottom line is, we're a couple times on the 10-year, and so even though it is, necessarily, and that's not necessarily a term rates because we have held the line, and as long as we continue rates steady out here, hopefully. So that's it.
Awesome.
That's where we are.
Well, thanks for that quick synopsis. I know that there's a lot more that goes into it, and we could definitely go a lot further into it, and we certainly will cover that in greater depth going forward. Basically, CPI came out, it's up, and so it's to be expected to some degree, but, we're here to answer those kind of questions that you guys have. We have a few questions that came in from last week, so I know your time is kind of brief today, but real quick, I wanted to, this is more of a question for you, Mike. From Susan in Iowa, I have 11 homes and mortgages on all of them, and I was told recently that I can't get another mortgage. Is that true?
So but the bottom line is, so you can't have more than 10 and Freddie, and you can add on your primary 11 that she's at. Again, I don't know if in home's primary, et cetera, but the bottom line is going to be what's called a non-qualified mortgage. And to be honest, the way Fannie and Freddie properties right now, quite honestly, the right portfolio type product, whether it be an all-in-one loan, the debt service coverage ratio loan, it's out there portfolio-wise, that might be a better option for them. Fannie discouraging those investment adjustments on those rates. So yes, you can get a mortgage. Reach out to us. We're like, we'd love to help you out.
Okay, yeah. So long story short, yes, there are options available. Yes, they look at once you have 10 mortgages. That's something the bank's definitely tracking and looking at. However, there are options available to you out there. Sounds like maybe a portfolio loan, that sort of thing. So if you do have questions, or Susan, probably need a little more information about those types of loans you have too, like he was saying. But I know he'd be happy to help you out. We're definitely happy to help you out if you have further questions, or we can get you further information on that. Excuse me. So next
Absolutely.
question from Ron next question from Ron in Charlotte. How do I get started in real estate investing? Well, I can definitely help there. as far as real estate investing, I think now is a great time to be diving into that and looking into that because we're definitely seeing a lot more opportunities out there now more than ever. Just even 6 months ago, these kind of opportunities weren't on the plate, they weren't on the table. I personally have listings that the sellers are open to creative financing. They're open to different options, looking at options that maybe weren't there. Again, 6 months ago that weren't even being explored, even for years now, just because the market's been so on fire here. And now buyers have more power than ever, have more options to them. So with that being said, now's a really good time to look at investing. I know that it really depends on kind of what you're trying to do as far as what scope and what you are trying to invest in. But certainly, what do you have to add to that, Mike?
Absolutely, man. I mean, the big thing for me is first thing you want to do is, and the right team includes, great agent market, right? Like reach out to Zet, his connections throughout the country. So no matter if you're in North Carolina, he can line you up with his network, which is that's number one. Number two is if you need to a good local lender and or someone that has a lot of experience themselves, like our team, who's been an investor themselves, right? So you want seeing pieces lined up, and then depending on what type, it would be single family, multi-family, that type of buying something with deferred maintenance. You'll want the right construction team, so you want to reach out to someone local as well, see who they've worked with. Again, cheapest is most expensive isn't, but make sure you do your research, experience, license, insured, etc. And deeper than that, you want to make sure that your liability, so the right attorney in that particular state that from an investment standpoint, like states have different tenant rights. So you're going to want to, if there be Airbnb or long-term rental, you're going to want to make sure you understand what the risks are involved in that. And then I would say, accounting standpoint, making sure you have the right accounting perspective. There's a lot of different options, whether it be doing a cost segregation, basically buying down points, and how that affects your tax appreciation, and make sure you understand how that's going to affect you when it comes to accounting and the good old IRS. More millionaires are made in real estate. More millionaires are made in markets like 2 to 4 years ago because markets like this create opportunity, and that's what we're here for, man.
Hey, Mike, I appreciate it. I think we're losing you a little more than earlier. I think it's cutting in and out, and I know you got to get going here. But I appreciate you tuning in or jumping on here with us. We're definitely going to be here every week, and you can always find us here. We're going to be back at our regular scheduled time next week, Thursday at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we're going to dive into that topic some more because I think that topic definitely deserves a little more attention and a little more time. And plus, we're kind of losing you in and out there a little bit. And so next week, we should definitely be dialed in with less technical issues, and we'll be able to have a little more in-depth conversation around that. I get that question a lot. I get the question, how do I get into real estate as well? And, we can certainly help you there from A to Z, get you with the right team, get you with, the right resources. So, going back to how do I get into real estate investing, my suggestion would be to get the book by Gary Keller, which is The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. So a book that a lot of real estate agents look to as being kind of the book that you go to really build a strong foundation as a real estate agent. Is The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the MREA is what it's called, or the Red Book, which is a book by Keller Williams. Obviously, I am somewhat biased. I am with Keller Williams, full disclosure. But a lot of agents outside of Keller Williams look at this book, with that kind of admiration in the industry. And so that's the MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent. There's the Millionaire Real Estate Investor, which is kind of the follow-up to that book. and it is a really great resource. That's my suggestion if you wanted to get into investing. I think that's probably the number one place to start. And as Mike was saying, we can certainly plug you into all the resources and a network of people that will help you cover all the bases when it comes to investing in real estate. So if you do need any help with buying, selling, or investing in real estate, of course you can always reach out to us. We'll make sure to include the socials. We're going to be back here next week, every week going forward, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Thursdays. This is House Talk with Zet in the Dome. And Mike's traveling, but he made sure that he still, even though he had some delays in his travel and everything, he made sure to make it here still, wasn't going to let that stop him. So even with a couple delays, we're going to be here no matter what. We're going to be here next week again, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and I hope you guys can join us. And if you have any questions whatsoever about anything related to real estate, whether, it's getting a mortgage or even looking at rentals, anything like that, we can certainly help you out with all aspects of all things real estate. Mike has you covered with all the financials, with everything when it goes to the mortgage or the loan side of things, if you have questions there. And anything else that you could possibly have questions on or want more information on or need resources on. We have a really great network we've been building for years. And so whether it's a good floor, a carpet person, or a handyman, or someone who is a roofing contractor, something like that, we can always get you connected with the right people who are going to take care of you, that we know are going to uphold the level of standard that we hold them to. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. If we can be a resource or a value to you in any way, let us know. And if you have any questions, please let us know. We have a couple more questions that we weren't able to go over that we're certainly going to go over next week. And I think we're going to spend more time on these questions and these topics next week as well, because like I said, I think they deserve the attention, a little more attention, and just a little more coverage on them. There's a lot more we can talk about there. So again, I really appreciate you tuning in and checking us out, and we're just getting things going. So thank you so much for your grace, patience, and understanding, and we have lots of love for you all out there, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks. Take care.